Friends, brothers, sisters, have you ever walked into a room, crossed paths with a stranger, and in that instant felt something shift? Not just a glance, not just a feeling, but a profound, undeniable recognition, like a forgotten melody suddenly playing perfectly in the chambers of your heart. They tell us it's chemistry. They say it's pheromones or proximity or just chance. But deep down, somewhere beyond the measurable, beyond the logical, don't you feel it? Don't you feel that undeniable pull, that echo from a place you can't quite name that whispers, I know you? What if that feeling isn't some random coincidence? What if that spark, that inexplicable magnetic draw is actually a sign, a fingerprint of a grander design? Tonight, we're going to talk about something far more ancient, far more powerful than mere human understanding. We're going to dive into the profound truth that your soul remembers. It recognizes. We're going to uncover not one, but 7 divine evidences that prove some connections aren't just made here on earth. They're etched into the very fabric of existence. And understanding them, understanding why your soul recognizes theirs, that's not just about love. That's about discovering a hidden truth about yourself and about the very universe we live in. Are you ready to look closer? See, we've all had that moment. You're moving through the world, minding your own business, just trying to get from point A to point B, and then it happens. You lock eyes with someone you've never met, a total stranger, but the air in the room suddenly feels heavy with a truth your mind can't quite articulate. It's a physical jolt, a spiritual static that hums in your chest. The world likes to give us small, tidy labels for that feeling. They'll call it a coincidence. They'll tell you it's just your brain playing tricks, or maybe just a bit of biological attraction firing off in your nervous system. But you and I both know that's too small a box for such a big experience. There is a weight to that moment that science can't weigh. It's that immediate bone deep sense of knowing that defies every bit of logic you've ever been taught. You aren't just seeing a face, you're seeing a story you've already read. You aren't just hearing a voice, you're hearing a frequency you've been tuned to since the beginning of time. This isn't a new introduction, it's a reunion. It's the realization that while your hands have never touched, your spirits have been in conversation long before you ever stepped into that room. That is the starting line. That is the universal mystery we've all felt, but few of us dare to name. It's that sacred, undeniable pull that tells you right then and there that the universe is far more intentional than we give it credit for, and that some people are placed in our path not by accident, but by a divine appointment that was scheduled before the foundations of the world were even laid. Now, the world wants to give you the clinical version. They want to break this thing down into a laboratory experiment. They'll tell you it's all about the prefrontal cortex, or it's just your dopamine level spiking because someone fits a certain visual profile. They'll tell you it's just chemistry, like you're nothing more than a beaker full of liquids reacting to a flame. But let me tell you something, you are not a project. You are not a random collision of atoms. When you feel that deep, soul-shaking pull toward another human being, reducing that to hormones is like looking at a sunset and saying it's nothing but a change in light frequency. It misses the glory, it misses the point. See, the logic of the world is too shallow to reach the depths of where you live. If it was just about looks, why doesn't the most beautiful person in the room always move your spirit? If it was just about biology, why does your heart settle only when one specific person speaks? You have to be willing to challenge the idea that your life is governed by mere chance or physical mechanics. There is a spiritual intelligence at work here that the textbooks don't have the language for. We've been taught to trust our eyes and our intellect, but we've forgotten how to trust the intuition that God placed in our marrow. We are so busy trying to explain the how that we completely ignore the who behind the why. You have to realize that the surface level explanations are just a veil. They are the noise that tries to drown out the signal. You aren't just reacting to a person, you are responding to a divine frequency that logic simply cannot decode. See, we have to talk about this idea of soul recognition because it is the cornerstone of why you feel what you feel. This isn't about meeting someone new, it's about the sudden, violent awakening of something that's been dormant inside of you. It's a memory that your brain didn't record, but your spirit never forgot. You look at them and you aren't searching for a name or a title, you're searching for the place where your soul and theirs originally shook hands. Think about it. Why is it that with some people you can talk for 10 minutes and feel like you've been in conversation for 10 centuries? It's because the physical body is just the latest chapter in a much longer book. There is an ancient resonance, a spiritual echo that vibrates when you get close to someone who carries a piece of your destiny. It's like two instruments tuned to the same pitch. When one is struck, the other begins to hum. That hum is the evidence of a pre-existent bond, a divine familiarity that bypasses the ego and goes straight to the core of who you are. You're not falling in love, you're falling into alignment. You're stepping back into a rhythm that was set in motion long before you ever took your first breath on this earth. The world calls it vibes or energy, but those are just modern words for a sacred truth. Your soul has its own eyes, and it sees a history that your physical sight can't perceive. It recognizes the light in them because it's the same light that burns in you, a twin flame from the same original fire, proving that you were never truly a stranger to the one you were meant to find. Now, listen, I'm not just talking about a feeling. I'm talking about a revelation. See, when you experience that pull, you aren't just stumbling into a coincidence. You are being invited onto a path. You are being handed a map to something greater. Most people spend their whole lives wandering, looking for a reason, looking for a sign, and then, bam, the divine drops a person in your lap who changes the gravity of your entire world. That recognition is a promise. It's a guarantee from the Creator that your life is not some series of random accidents. It's a journey, a carefully orchestrated journey, and this connection is a mile marker. When we talk about evidence, we're talking about the fingerprints of God on your personal history. Think about the precision of it. Think about the timing, the way you both ended up in that one specific place at that one specific moment after a lifetime of different choices. You think that's luck? No, that's design. That's the evidence of a higher hand moving the pieces on the board. You are being shown that there is a spiritual architecture to your life, and this attraction is the doorway. It's meant to wake you up. It's meant to make you look up and realize that if the divine can coordinate the meeting of two souls in a world of 8 billion people, then maybe, just maybe, everything else in your life is being handled with that same level of care. This is the promise of revelation, that you are seen, that you are known, and that your heart's deep longing is actually a compass pointing you toward a truth you were always meant to discover. This journey isn't just about finding them, it's about the divine revealing the reality of his work through the beauty of another person. See, when we finally understand this, when we stop looking at attraction as some lucky break and start seeing it as a divine assignment, everything shifts. It changes the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you value yourself. This isn't just about a romantic spark, it's about your own empowerment. It's about the realization that you are not a leaf blowing in the wind, but a participant in a grand celestial orchestration. When you recognize that the divine has gone to the trouble of aligning your soul with another, it validates your entire existence. It tells you that you matter. It tells you that your desires aren't just random cravings, but sacred indicators of where you are supposed to go. This knowledge gives you a new kind of authority over your life. You stop settling for good enough, because you know what divinely appointed feels like. You start to see that every encounter, every magnetic pull, and every soul deep connection is a tool for your own spiritual refinement. It's a mirror held up to your greatness, showing you parts of your own strength and beauty that you were too blind to see on your own. You realize that the divine uses these connections to wake you up, to push you forward, and to mold you into the person you were always intended to be. Understanding these evidences doesn't just explain your love life, it explains your purpose. It transforms your perspective from one of confusion to one of profound clarity, allowing you to move through this world with the confidence of someone who knows they are being guided by a higher hand. You aren't just finding a partner, you are finding the evidence of your own worth in the eyes of the Creator. So, what are you going to do with this truth? You can't just go back to the way you were, thinking life is a series of accidents. You've seen the evidence, you've felt that sacred pull. You now know that when your soul reaches out and recognizes another, it's not just a moment, it's a mandate. It's a divine reminder that you are seen, you are known, and you are being led by a hand that doesn't make mistakes. Don't you dare walk away from this and call it chemistry ever again. Call it what it is, a miracle. Call it a divine appointment. Carry that weight with you. Walk with your head held high, knowing that the Creator of the stars and the moon took the time to orchestrate a meeting just for you. Trust that pull, lean into that recognition, and honor the sacred bond that's been written in your spirit since before time began. Because when soul recognizes soul, it's not just two people finding each other. It's the divine finding a home in the heart of humanity.